welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the 2024 X7 xDrive40i. This one is in the sparkling copper metallic paint. I think it's a new paint. It's on the X7, of course, and also on I think the 7 series now. It's the Go7 chassis. This is a store inventory cart and it is minimally spec'd. But let's go over this one in particular. So we got our split headlight design. You can see our parking assistance camera, the front, which means parking assistance package. Now this sensor down here is here whether or not you get Driving Assistance Pro or not. However, it is not connected to anything, and you won't be able to add something like Driving Assistance Plus, which you can do on things like the X1, the 7 series, I believe, and the iX. But one way you can distinguish them just by looking at them is up here, the CAFS cameras. You can see there are 2 cameras up there, and a third one down below. Just above the connected drive sort of thing here, there are 2 parallel lines. If there are 2 parallel lines going across those cameras there, means no driving assistance professional. So it's 3 lines on that, means you have that package. That's one way to visually distinguish between options on the car. Over on the side we have the style 753 wheels, and also the standard calipers, which are obviously quite gigantic. I'll take a step back. Got brushed aluminum for the roof rails. Got our sort of chrome-ish looking hockey stick as well. So we do have the air suspension set to its lowest setting right now. An Outback X740i badging in chrome. Your dual exhaust and your faux diffuser, if there even is one there. All right, and the paint, to me, looks very sort of grayish, sort of mid-range gray. The copper, I think, comes from the metallic flaking in there. So if you look closely at the car in sunlight, you have that copper flaking in there. But I think maybe an underrated color of one of the many grays available on the X7. You can see towards the back of the car, you got that sparkling copper coming out. Of course, it is copper, not the oxidized copper that you would see that would make it greenish. But I don't know, what am I thinking of? Maybe one of those colors on the old 7 series and the 5 series. I think it might have been Bernina Gray. Sort of a similar effect to it. But definitely a very interesting color with those flakes. So let's go on the inside, go over pricing and options on this particular model. All right, so opening up, we have the black Sensa Fin. It's a standard option on the vehicle, no cost. And then our seats here, quite comfortable. And of course, powered, quilted, and pretty good controls. So you got your powered crumb catcher, upper backrest adjustment, side bolster adjustment, and lumbar support, all standard on the vehicle. All right, so the inside, here's your standard steering wheel on the X7, and of course the X5 and the X6 as well. Cruise control buttons over here. Again, this is just the dumb version of cruise control. Got your shift paddles in front of me, the instrument panel for iDrive 8.5. Heads-up display. And here's our 8.5 display. So again, I think pretty good user interface changes from 8. So you got your staging area back here, which can be changed between a few different things. So you just swipe to the left here and can choose. You do have more options available once you have the BMW ID or profile on the vehicle. Over here is the quick select features. Again, these cannot be changed, but you can select through some of the common used features here. And the big change is the climate control. So much more intuitive, I think, idea here. You have the on-off. That was always existing here, but it's up here. You can turn off the system here. But I think maybe reminiscent of the old climate control buttons down below. But I think an improvement for sure. All right, and moving on, the trim is the brown poplar wood trim. A bit hard to see right now with the lighting right now. In your center console area, so your Start stop button, drive selector nub, iDrive controller, as well as the air suspension. Alright, so starting price of the 2024 X7 xDrive40i is $81,900. Copper metallic is included, as well as black sensor fin. Parking assistance package for $900, premium package for $1,850. Then all these other things are standard on the vehicle. Did add the all-weather floor mats as well as the first aid kit. All told, MSRP of this particular example, just a little bit over $86,000. So obviously one thing that is missing is the Driving Assistance Pro package. But we're sort of under orders from the GM to make some of these ones a little bit less pricey, and this is definitely one way to go. So you got your bare basics, except for the Driving Assistance Pro, which is, I think, another $2,100, so still under $90K if you go that route. All right, so here is our second row, the bench row. Of course, you can go optional captain's chairs in the second row. All right, so here's the view from the back seat, the second row. Our moonroof shade is open, no panoramic sky lounge here or LED sky lounge. Do have two zones in the back here for the second row passengers. And I'd say knee room, leg room, really, really good. And of course, headroom, no issue whatsoever in the X7. Do a quick little look at the back seat as well. All right, so again, everything's powered here to get into the third row. All right, so here's the view from the back row. With our seat folding, our seat movement coming back. Knee room, leg room, compromised, of course. But headroom, I'd say, is not too bad. Of course, the fifth zone climate control is optional, which this car does not have. I mean, for a three-row SUV, this should probably be standard on the X7, but it's not. All right, wait for this to move, and then we'll hop out. Of course, with the third row up, cargo space is at the minimum. You have a little extra storage space down below. All right, so I left that in the upright position. But of course, controls back here for max passengers or max luggage, and of course, controls for the third row and second row from the back seat. From the cargo area, use our kick to close. Make our way to the front. All right, so we'll make our way to the front here and pop the hood. And take in the sparkling copper metallic. There's that metallic flicking really coming out. So underneath the hood is the B58, a mild hybrid setup. You see the purple wires there, cables. Horsepower, I think it's 381 horsepower and 398 torques. So a pretty good improvement over the pre-LCI version of the X7. Definitely plenty of power and torque. But that's it for a quick look at the X7 xDrive40i, and we'll see you at the next video.